is Taylor Sinclair. Taylor is the 4-H Youth Development, 4-H Youth Program Development Coordinator with the University of Illinois Extension. Taylor, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I am good, and hopefully I'll get that smoothed out a little bit there intro wise. We're used to calling Taylor by a different last name. However, Taylor Sinclair is joining us here today to talk about different events and different things that are going on with the 4-H and University of Illinois Extension. First being a Grand Friend Pen Pal community service project. Where can you take me with that?
So this here is a community service project that our unit youth leadership team came up with. So that way, all the kids in the unit, it's just like another opportunity for them to be able to write some letters. And we're going to kind of go with like some local nursing homes. So they can write a letter, bring it into the office, and then we'll mail it. So that way we're not worried about giving any information, home addresses, things like that, just for safety reasons kind of. And we'll bring them, and then the nursing home can write a letter back, and then they'll give it to us, and then we can deliver it to the youth.
I like that it's going to the nursing homes and getting into the hands of folks that don't always get letters or don't always get visits. And so that is a nice way to do so. So that is the Grand Friend Pen Pal project that is going on right now, or we'll be getting it start here soon. Next up is the Spring Grab.
Yes.
Next up is the Spring Grab and Go Art Kit. An event fee of only $3 stands out to me immediately, and the date of May 19th. What about the Spring Grab and Go Art Kit?
So these Spring Grab and Go Art Kits are kind of similar to what our pumpkin pie in a bags were. Sometimes it's really hard for families to find the time to be able to come in for workshops. We're so busy with sports. I mean, it's graduation time of the year.
Yes.
Like, it's a crazy time of the year. We're coming into summer. We know that. But this Grab and Go Art Kit, they can purchase the kit, and then they can just come and pick it up and take it home and do it at home and on their own time. So they don't have to do it at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday night here at the office. Like, they can just come and pick up the kit, and it'll have the directions in there. There'll be a little YouTube video that they'll be able to follow. And these kits actually are the macrame keychain, which is actually the infinity keychain, which is quite cool. I don't know if you know too much about macrame or not.
A little bit. I've had some girlfriends hang some things from walls and stuff like that.
It's becoming really popular. The best way for me to really describe it is it's kind of similar to, I don't know if you probably didn't know if you had any sisters, but we used to make like little friendships bracelets. And the string was a little bit thinner and the macrame is a little bit thicker, but it's a very similar concept. It's basically the same thing. But there's so many different things you can do. I've kind of gotten into it, and my next thing I want to make is like macrame plant hangers. So it's really fun. I mean, you can do a lot of things with these. I mean, you can put macrame art on deer antlers. Like, it's really cool what you can do with them.
I have seen the macrame plant hangers before.
Yes.
And they are a nice little touch. You get that, maybe just a standard clay pot or terracotta pot, whatever we're wanting to call them, and then just throw that in there and then wrap it around and make it work. So, but this for your particular one is to make an infinity keychain.
Yes.
So an infinity.
I had a picture that I could show the people what it looks like, but it's really cute.
Yeah, kind of pan it over to the camera a little bit as well. But so when it comes to the macrame Spring Grab and Go Art Kit, just grab it, go, and then are we having a way to kind of share it with others that are also participating in the event? Is there a way that we're bringing it all together?
So we can go to the website, which is extension.illinois.edu/CJMM/events. You can scroll through there, and the deadline for this workshop is actually tomorrow, because today's the 8th. Tomorrow, and I actually have 11 kits available, and I would love to get them all out. So if you have any grandkids, anything like that, cousins, I mean, it's for any ages 5 to 18. So any age can really do this. Share it out.
$3. That's so reasonable.
And it's pre-cut for them.
Oh, really?
So they have the strings pre-cut, and all they got to do is fold it and work on the knots.
Man, I tell you what, that's well worth the $3. And if it's basically ready for you, in that regard too, you don't even have to cut it or anything like that. Anything else when it comes to the Grab and Go kit?
I don't think so.
Okay. Next up for you, and I hope I'm correct in this, 4-H French bread workshop. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, this is, I don't know if you have heard of them, but Bear Creek Farm and Ranch in Palmer. They are actually kind of sponsoring it, or they're leading this workshop.
Okay.
So she's going to come in, and this is from 9 to noon, and they're going to learn to make their own French bread, just about the art and the process of making French bread, which is actually one of our project areas in our cooking 401, I think. Don't quote me. There's a couple different areas, but I believe that the French bread is in the 401, and they might even be able to take some tips and tricks from this and incorporate into their 4-H projects.
Okay. So 4-H French bread workshop, $8 fee. Again,
Yes.
very reasonable, especially for a 3-hour session on May 28th. And you said Bear Creek Farm and
Ranch
out
Yes.
of Palmer, Illinois.
And they will even get to bring home their own cooking apron.
Oh, really?
Customized. Mhm.
Oh, man. All right. Put you in the kitchen with a custom apron, and you look that much
Yes.
more official. Not long after that, though, we go from French bread to sourdough.
Yes, we have the 4-H sourdough workshop here. This one, there is actually, I just made this one live maybe at the end of last week. So there are a full 10 spots available still. And the cost of this one is $5. And Bear Creek Farm and Ranch is also leading this workshop. They're going to bring an actual sourdough start for the kids, and each kid will get their own sourdough starter. So they'll be able to start their own journey. They're going to learn how to feed it. This workshop is a little bit longer. It is 9 to 1, just because it's sourdough's a bit longer process. And then this one will be with yeast. That way they can see it rise there during the workshop, and then they'll get to make it and bring it home and even do some taste testing.
And having that sourdough starter that you get to bring home with you, hey,
Yes.
that's perfect for that as well. The sourdough, we talked about it a little bit before we got our start here, but that part, I don't know why, it kind of fascinates me how it's grown so much in popularity, but it's so simple at the same time too.
Sourdough is so amazing to me, especially just like the science side of it. Just getting to sit there and watch it whenever you feed it, it's so exciting. Just come back every couple hours and you're like, wow, look how much it's grown. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So
I think it's neat too. And I told you that in a conversation prior about the sourdough, like the smell is important, and making sure it's alive. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. So I see why the extra hour is needed. So from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 3rd, 2025, we have got a $5 4-H sourdough workshop, and you get to bring home that sourdough starter with you. Anything else when it comes to the sourdough workshop?
I don't think so, but if they want, I do have a short URL if they would like to sign their youth up for this workshop. It is go.illinois.edu/CC, both capitalized, sourdough 25.
CC sourdough 25. And what I believe is maybe last, but certainly not least here, is a 4-H science camp. This sounds like there's a lot going on with this as well, but what can you tell me about the breakdown of it?
This is a huge hit. Usually, every summer, we do this kind of unit wide. So each of our counties, so Jersey, Christian, Macoupin, Montgomery, they each have their own camp.
Okay.
And there's 20 spots for each camp, and this one for Christian actually only has 19 spots left. So it's really just kind of opened up. But they're going to get to dissect an owl pellet, which is super cool. I remember doing that whenever I was younger. They're going to be conducting a diaper dissection, just like learning the science behind the absorbent materials, a fun little hand washing experiment about germs and hygiene, and then one on different brands in our toilet paper testing challenge. And then the classic, they get to create their slime and the chemistry behind the gooey fun.
So we're dissecting an owl pellet,
Yes.
a diaper.
Mm-hmm.
We're testing the breakdown ability of tissue paper, of toilet paper, and then we're also making some slime. So in just 2 hours, we're able to pack all that in.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty impressive, actually. So that'll be Friday, June 27th.
Yes, that is a Friday. Yes,
Friday, June 27th. The It's Science 4-H Science Camp. Some of it sounded a little but then you also get your chance to figure out how to get yourself cleaned up a little bit after there as well. Well, very cool. Anything else when it comes to workshops or events that are going on with the Christian County Extension?
I don't think so. I do have a showmanship basics clinic. This is actually the Farm Bureau is leading this.
Okay.
I love animals, but I didn't quite grow up with livestock. So like they've really been taking the lead on this for me. It was their idea too. So they're putting a lot of work into this. There's going to be a session on beef. There'll be a 30-minute session on sheep. There'll be a 30-minute session on swine, just kind of learning some basics. It does say on there that it's 8 to 14, I believe, but it's kind of open to whatever ages because, I mean, there's sometimes you can always learn something new. There'll be someone that comes in and talk about each area. So the kids that show in each of those, they'll kind of get to maybe learn some tips and tricks on their showing, especially when it comes to like the showmanship aspect of things. And the cost on this one is just $5 just because there's going to be food at the end. And then there is going to be another guest speaker as well. I think that one is going to be someone that's coming to talk about feed and that sort of stuff. So hoping that's going to be a big hit.
So in the 2 hours, we're talking maybe 30 minutes beef, 30 minutes sheep, 30-minute pig, and then we're going right into a guest speaker telling you how to actually feed those animals.
Yes. Yep.
Beautiful. And even though it says 8 to 14, keep in mind, open to pretty much anybody and just $5. That's the best part about all of this is always going to be the price and that low price point. No barrier of entry there. So that is a look at different events and different things going on with the U of I extension, whether that's on the 4-H side or with showmanship. And we've talked about it before, but the showmanship, I learned so much just last summer about how important that was to actually lead the animal around properly. And I'll be doing a lot of learning probably this summer too. Well, I am joined by Taylor Sinclair. Taylor is the 4-H Youth Program Development Coordinator with the extension. And we're going to come back around and talk a little bit more as we are rapidly approaching 4-H fair season. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn lower, beans higher, wheat steady. July corn down 5 1/4, 444. September corn down 4 1/4, 425 1/4. December new crop 436 3/4 down 4. July beans up 6 1/4, 1045 1/2. August beans 1040 1/4, up 4 3/4. November new crop up 3, 1025. July Chicago wheat 532 1/4, down 2 1/4. September wheat down 2 1/4, 546 3/4. July bean meal up 30 cents, 295.30. July bean oil 48.37, up $1.05. Livestock market May feeders up 75 cents, 295.20. August live cattle 208.57, up 20 cents. Pay lean hogs 90.82, down 32 cents. Energy market June crude oil up $1.63 today, 59.69. I'm Jim Taylor.
Baseball is a game of agility, power, and speed. That combination provides wonderful moments all season long.
Every hit, every home run, and every pitch. It all matters in a long season. Any moment could be the next moment that you don't want to miss.
I love bringing those moments to life for our listeners right here on the Cardinals Radio Network.
And I love how it sounds on the radio. Don't miss any of the action.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Cardinal baseball, heard on WTIM, your information station. The Big 870 across central Illinois, 96.1 FM in Christian County, 107.5 FM in Shelby County, and 107.9 in the Pena-Nokomis area. It's brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan, Quarter Copy Print Shop, Memorial Presbyterian Church, Bob Writings Pena, and Kemmer Village.
Cardinals baseball on the Big 870 across central Illinois, WTIM.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names. Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
Just Beds are the yawn exterminators, and they can give you a better night's sleep. Choose from Bemco, Chatham & Wells, Sealy, Simmons, and Tempur-Pedic. Find out the many models and styles available on their updated website by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
At Land of Lincoln Credit Union, you can bank on learning more. Find out how they can help you and your family with their products and services by clicking their banner ad on top of the police blotter page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM morning show here on your information station, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining me in this segment is Taylor Sinclair. Taylor is the 4-H Youth Program Development Coordinator with the Extension Office in Christian County, and really probably multiple other counties too. For Taylor, we talked a lot about events and other things workshop-wise coming up for the Extension, and we wanted to talk and turn the page a little bit about 4-H fair season. Where did you want to take me with that?
You know, it's my favorite time of the year. We have fair season really quickly approaching, and fair season, our fair entry actually opens June 11th to the 25th. So it's going to come up fast. But we have the general show on Monday, July 14th at 9 a.m. They're at the Extension office. It's usually at the fairgrounds, but it was a very, very hot day last year, and we were trying to bring some AC to my judges that are volunteering and spending hours doing this for me. And then we have the poultry show. That'll be a little bit after that on that Monday at 2 o'clock at the office. Tentatively, if whether or not the ban gets kind of extended, we'll kind of figure that out. We're figuring out as we go. And then the rabbit show after that. And then the livestock shows on Wednesday are swine, sheep, goat, beef, and the master showmanship that the Farm Bureau puts on. And that starts at 8 a.m. there at the Christian County Fairgrounds.
All right. Well, perfect. Taylor, we've run out of time, but Taylor Sinclair, 4-H Youth Program Development Coordinator with the Extension, joining us here in studio, telling us all about events and workshops, and also as fair season starts to roll around. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298